What's up, y'all? I'm PC McCray. You can call me P.
Hey, y'all. My name is Shaun the Head. You can call me Shaun the Head. And this is the Everything Has Changed podcast.
From 2 college roommates to 40-something adults, life has been lifing, and we want to talk about it.
We are the new adults, y'all.
How did that happen?
I don't know, P, but we got to talk about it.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Hey, Shaun. How you doing?
P,
What up?
what's up?
How you doing over there?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
I am 2 days post Kendrick concert,
Hey.
so I think I'm fully recovered.
Okay. All right.
You know,
That's
I'm in
fair.
my 40s. I'm in
That's
my
fair.
40s now, so
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a while. Okay, sometimes it takes a while. So, but I'm doing good. I think I'm fully here. Fully here. How about you?
I'm good today, but I'm laughing because
Good.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you
Which
know,
is
you forget
crazy.
how old you are till you go to a concert, and you
Yeah.
get home at a concert where you up dancing and screaming. You come home, you can't speak. Okay, I was limping the next morning.
Okay. All right. All right.
I'm for sure I was limping when I got out of bed. It took me a couple minutes to
Were you crip walking? Why were you limping?
you know I can crip walk.
I know.
But
I know.
no, oh my gosh, Pete, it was. I mean, do you want me to go? Do you want me?
Let's go.
You want me? Okay,
Tell us about it.
here's the thing. The problem is my concert partner. Okay, she tells me, here are the tickets. This is where we are. Apparently, our tickets, we had club level this time. So I was like, great. We got comfy seats for our butts. You know, we got a shorter line for the bathroom. No. There's club level, and then there's the Harris Club.
Oh.
We were in the Harris Club, which I'm, of course, assuming sponsored by Harris Casino. Not assuming, it is. I seen the logo. You go in there, you got to get a wristband like you at the club. It was all you can eat and
Ooh.
all you can drink. And you have to enter the club to get to your seat. 'Cause, you know, I don't be outside no more. So, you know, everybody wants to stop and help you. And I'm like, ma'am, I don't know. Am I supposed to go into the Harris Club? Like, I'm trying to get to my seat. I can go to the club later. You know, she's like, no, ma'am, you got to go in the club.
Just follow me. You have to come in.
They literally had it set up like you was going in the club, like a little bouncer, the lady who check your ticket, the lady with the, you know, the wristband, all that. You go in there, huge bar. You know, it's like almost like a restaurant, you know? And so you could really, if you get there early enough, you can sit there and watch the concert from your table. We were there early, and that was the whole thing. It's like, all right, we're going to get our money's worth. We're going to get our eats and our drinks. But we did go down to our seats because we were in row 1. So we was like, all right, we got to go. We do got to actually go to our seat because we in the row 1. So won't nobody be in front of us or whatever the case. But when I tell you, P, and I'm going to get to the concert in a second, I was assuming the all-you-can-eat food would be like nachos, hot dog, you know, like stadium food, but just as much as you want. It was like macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, 3 types of wings, crab fried rice.
Ooh.
It was,
come on, Mercedes-Benz Arena.
It was a whole menu. It was like some gourmet food. Then they had candy, all you can eat candy. So they had the candy jars with the lemon heads and the Lifesavers and the Hershey's Kisses and the Kit Kat. Anything that's wrapped had its whole everything. And then we go up to the bar. We thinking it's beer and wine because apparently, in you know, during football season, is all you can drink beer and wine in the Harris Club. No, it was top shelf. They do top shelf for concerts. We had a time. We had a time. And the bathroom there's a bathroom. There was never a line for the bathroom. I said, we're never going back. We're never
Right.
going
Like,
back.
how do you, what am I supposed to do now? I got a
What
celebrity concert like that.
because also we're in the Harris Club for Beyonce
Oh,
in
yes.
July. So sign me up. I'm ready.
Yeah.
But it was great. That was awesome. But then we go down our seats. It was crazy, P. I've actually never seen Kendrick or SZA live. We've talked before about his voice and how
Mm-hmm.
strong it is.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, as a rapper, you're literally like yelling into the mic or whatever they do. It was so clear, Pete. So good. His breathing was it's what I loved about it is because a lot of times you'll go see a rap artist, they either won't have dancers
Mm-hmm.
because they think they don't need any, or they do, and it's you know, a couple girls up there sexy dancing. They was he had pretty much there were women dancing with him as well, but it was a lot of men up there dancing, like just men sometimes, and I was proud of that. I said they looking good because
He
they was
had
doing all that West Coast
dancers.
and the choreography. Because I could be wrong. I think Charm LaDonna is the choreographer for the tour. That's the same lady. She choreographed Not Like Us and all that with the crip walking, all that stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
she's like the tour choreo. If I'm wrong, I'll fix it. I'll fix it in the show notes, guys. If it's someone else, but she did an amazing job. I felt because it all the way through, it felt like it was still L.A. and West Coast, but it was real choreography. And sometimes you don't see that, especially with
Yeah.
rappers. They don't feel like they need it, or they feel like they need some girls like grinding on each other for it to work for the song. And then
That's it.
SZA is so tiny and cute, and she be singing. She be singing. Sound just like the CD. Um, and she was hyped too. She was hyped when they would do their songs together, and they switched in and out just like Jay-Z and Beyonce did on the Run. Which that was really
Mm-hmm.
kind of the first time I had
Mm-hmm.
ever seen that. Like you come in on somebody else's song, but they're co-headliners. So it was great. DJ Mustard opened. He had like a 30-45 minute set. So it was great, man. I took some video. Um, I had a great time. I had a great time. Glad I went. Middle of the week, Tuesday night is that was hard.
Yeah.
But
School night.
you know, yeah, but it's like it ain't like, you know, you don't get a choice. So
Yeah. I saw
it was
clips
great.
and people, it was sold out. It was a crowd. And people were
Mm-hmm.
saying, yo, he brought these people out on a work night or for adults, a
Right.
school night.
Right.
And like, okay, Kendrick, get it. And like you said, his voice, and he raps so fast, but it was still so clear. You
That's
can
the
hear
thing.
him. And he's always put on a production. He's not just up
Yep.
there. Yes, he's a rapper, and sometimes he's just walking around, but he does a whole production. That's what I appreciate about his art.
He ain't skipping no words. And
Mm-mm.
then he gonna stop when y'all know the song, then y'all rap it. And then everybody's like, you know, and and then they had like not fireworks, but the pyro. It wasn't
Yeah.
just on the stage; it was like across the floor. So sometimes it would just be going off. Like, oh my, like wow. And they did this thing, the song "All the Stars," the Black Panther song. They
Yes.
did this something with. I can't even really describe it with the lights, the way they did the lights with that thing. It was a great show. I'm glad I went because typically I really only go to Beyonce concerts. I would probably go to a whole lot more, you know, but if I'm like, okay, if I only go into one, it's gonna be Beyonce. This year going to two, maybe more. We'll see what happens. But I had
Come
such a great
on.
time. I saw a stat that said that Kendrick surpassed Eminem for the he set a record for the highest grossing rap show on his very first night of the tour, which was in Minneapolis. Now, not tour, not highest grossing rap tour. Because clearly we ain't there yet. He's still in the middle of it. But there was a record for a one night, and Eminem
Wow.
set it. And Kendrick surpassed that on the first night of his tour, 47,000 plus people with an average ticket price of $192.
For a
He
rapper.
surpassed, he surpassed Eminem. And you were saying offline that you read that he took it how much just from the Atlanta show, which was 2 nights ago?
Right. I need to double check the accuracy, but I saw something that said 11 million.
Yeah. One show.
Like he cleaned up. He cleaned up in ATL. And it just that's why I have decided that my concerts, like my big concerts, will be in Atlanta. Atlanta seems to bring out the best in the artists as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looked like a crazy wild show, a good time, just coming through the screen. I was like, okay, all right. Because I'm gonna stick with my R&B all day and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
That's
The
you.
only
Yeah.
rap concert I've seen, like I've actively gone to see a rapper, was Jay-Z, and not on the
Yeah.
run. I think when he was on a solo or something, but because I like Kendrick, I just was like, yeah, you know, I
Right.
don't. If somebody bought my ticket, I'd go.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And SZA with her fairy wings, did she go up in the sky
She
with her
got up
fairy
in the
wings?
sky, girl. I was not ready. Oh, and yesterday, I guess, which was April 30th, was the 1-year anniversary of when Euphoria dropped. So it was
Yes.
interesting that, like, a year later, here we are.
Here we are. This
Here we
man.
are. Oh, and I will say, they had kind of skits and videos throughout the show.
Mhm.
Well, it was really one long video. I'm sure they cut it up into, but it was of a deposition. Kendrick and SZA were giving deposition.
Okay.
It
All
was
right.
so good.
Okay. They just woo.
And the attorney or whatever was like, because he asked Kendrick something. He's like, I can't recall. I don't know. And the guy was like, well, can you recall? Drop, 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 drop. And that's, of course, when they went into Not Like Us. It was
Of
good,
course.
P.
Of
And they ended
course.
on Luther. I thought they would have
Oh.
ended on Not Like Us. They ended with Luther. Oh, probably because it was two of them together. Actually, there was one song they did afterward. I can't even remember which one it was. They kind of went into like a medley. It was great. They're great together. SZA had a whole.
Oh.
I will say this: if you don't, because some people can't see like bugs and insects and stuff,
What?
then that might not be the show for you because she's really
So
into the bugs right now. And
what is that? I saw clips. I'm like, is that a ant? What is that? Why do you have a big old
she's on an ant, and his name is Anthony.
all right.
Um,
Okay.
and
Enough.
so she said his name is Anthony. Anthony didn't bother me, but whenever it was her turn, and you know how the videos come up behind, it was like close-ups of insect, like praying mantis, and she even had some praying mantis on screen. I'm not on
What
screen,
is
on stage with her, but you know the stilt dancers, they were on stilts,
Yes. That's what
but
I saw.
giant praying mantis. That they were dancing and they would come through the crowd and stuff. But then she was sitting on a giant ant. The way that
What?
Beyonce be on the horse, SZA's on the ant. And I just was like, I know all the promo and stuff, especially from the deluxe album, was like a lot of nature, insects outside. But it's not like we got a song that's like the ant song or something. I never understood how it correlated to the deluxe album. And
Okay.
now her tour set is, so I'm just saying, because some people, I don't know all the phobias. Like me, I can't look at moths. So
Okay.
it wasn't really, it was like a moth one time. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I can deal with everything else. But if you can't look at like caterpillars and
I
stuff, then because it's on a giant screen too. And I was like, where are we going with this? And it was on set, it was on stage too. But that's one thing I never understood just from the deluxe album release, where we were going with
Where are we going with that?
where was
I don't
I never saw the
understand.
connection. I understand, oh, this is the marketing campaign, we're going to do this, but I never understood how it actually connected to the music.
Mm-mm.
But you know,
Still.
SZA does what she want to do, and she was
I'm
sticking
not gonna
around that
use
stage.
I won't say that she's weird, but she does strange things, eclectic things. And
Eclectic. And that's her
so
thing. And
if
honestly,
she
that's why I
wants
love her.
bugs and
Yeah.
Anthony the ant
Yeah.
on
Do
on
it.
stage, girl, what? Not Anthony the ant. I cannot.
Anthony the Ant. And but I did say, I was like, okay, people should know. People who can't look at like insects and stuff should know that, because the stage is very, very big. Not the
Yeah.
stage, the screen behind it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huge. And so, and it's a lot. It's a lot. So if you can't stomach that, if you go, you're gonna have to look away. But besides that, very good. They're awesome together. They had awesome
Wow.
dancers and choreography, and the GNX came up out the stage, and he performed in it inside the car at one point.
Yeah.
Great time. Great time.
The one clip
all.
I really enjoyed too, Mustard, when the whole crowd was like, Mustard. That was
Yeah, yeah.
crazy.
And he
It was
came out.
so
Yeah.
loud. Yes.
They
And
really
he had a
did
moment.
save. Yeah, I remember when all this was going down, Mustard was being interviewed, and they were talking about the Not Like Us.
Yeah.
And I think it was on Big Boy in LA, Big Boy in LA. And he was like, I sent Kendrick 3 beats a day every day. And he said, I actually still send him 3 beats a day every day. And he was like, I just knew we was gonna work together one day, and it finally happened, but it was this that took
Wow.
off. And then I remember people were asking him, are you gonna be at the Super Bowl? And he was like, y'all need to let that man have it. Talking all this. Was he at the Super Bowl? Yes. He was
Absolutely.
at all the interviews. I said, he done changed Mustard's life. And Mustard having the time, Mustard said, I'm going to be present. I'm going to be in the video. I'm going to do, he
I
was
love
like,
it.
I'm going to be at all the things. He really been out here having the best time of his life. So shout out to him too. It was great.
A time was had.
A time was had, and I really do. I'm like you, where no, not even like you. You inspire me in the way that you move through life, and you're like, experiences. I'm here for experiences. So it's always
Experiences.
going to be the concert or whatever for me. It's always over something else.
Yep.
And I'm like, you know what? Same.
Same.
Let's do it. Like that's, those are the things. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I just looked it up. It's on Kendrick Lamar updates on Twitter. He breaks his record for the highest grossing concert by a rapper in history with the 11 million at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas.
Okay, so disregard what I just said. He already broke the record that he set on his first
He
night.
broke another record. My God.
49,642 tickets.
Wow.
And I just realized the other day, I didn't even know there was a difference when they say arena tour. I thought arena tour was a stadium tour. And I've since learned, clearly, stadiums are larger than arenas.
Yes.
But to me, they fell in the same boat, and that's an absolute no.
It's a no.
And apparently, most rappers don't get to do stadium tours. Wow.
And he's selling them out. That's wild. And that's my bad. I was sleeping on Kendrick. I didn't know. Yeah.
Fearless.
That's my bad. Yeah. I admit it. Guilty.
But you are a R&B soul aficionado.
Yes.
So it probably wasn't even that you were sleeping on it. It's just that your focus is, you know what I'm saying, over here.
My main lane. Now, I love some of his songs. Some of his songs are in my playlist, and I could jam, have a good time. But I slept that he could fill up stadiums, just like you said. Arena, sure. Stadiums? The Cowboys stadium is insane.
How many people does... Oh, is that the Cowboy Stadium?
Yes.
Okay, wow. Hey, friends. We're just getting this podcast going, and we're so thankful for your support. If you want to be updated whenever we drop a new episode, or when we drop some of the special things we've got coming, head on over to everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and drop us your email so you can stay locked in. Cool? Cool. 50,000 people.
My God. For
They was,
Kendrick,
I
a
tell you
rapper.
what, because I took some video of the stadium once everybody was in, because when Mustard was playing, it was still over half empty. And,
Yeah.
Atlanta, we show up when we show up. By the time the actual show started at 8, I think, no, I'm sorry, not the actual show. Let me not shit on Mustard like that. But when SZA and Kendrick started, it was about 8:10, 8:15.
Okay.
I'm talking about people was in the very last row at the top. And they were up there because they had their phone lights on. Like you could see the
Seated.
Ooh.
Ready.
And them
I'm
people on the
excited.
floor was flooring. Okay.
Yes.
They
Yes.
they was having the best night. They was rapping bar for bar. It was and this was also, I will say this, the Renaissance tour in, what is this, 2023?
Mhm.
The Atlanta stop was where I was.
Same.
Up until that point, that was the most mixed crowd at a concert that I've been to, because I don't really, the white artists that I love, couldn't see myself. Like, I'm not going to a Billie Eilish concert because I'm
Billie
in my 40s.
Eilish.
But Billie
I'm
Eilish is
sorry.
like my fave. I'm going to jam to her in the car and at the house, but I'm not going to her show with all the young people.
The youngins.
So that was the most mixed show. This show was probably more mixed than even that. And the Renaissance tour was very mixed. It was probably
Yeah.
60-40. Last other night, it was a lot of white people out.
I saw
And it's
the
like,
pictures. Yeah.
and I just never think about that. I don't know what they be having going on. They was outside. And
They
they was
said, we
they was
coming.
rapping too. They knew the words.
Yeah.
Okay, the words they were supposed to know, they knew the words. Okay, they was seated. They was here for it. It was a great show, great time. And at this point in life, I'm just so excited for people to come together and be happy in one place. Because when you think about it, we could not be. So I'm like,
Mhm.
whatever that looks like, people doing all this talking about, of course, Beyonce and just the devil, all this stuff. And like, when you
Child.
go to these shows, people are literally just happy. Like, happy. It's just like joy for like a good 2 hours, 3 hours.
That's it.
Joy. That's
I don't.
literally it. That's the only energy that people are trying to put out into the world. That's it. Oh, and when you leave
I
a
don't
concert, you
understand
just
that.
feel so refreshed and fulfilled. Let me tell you something.
And worn
Uh-uh.
out at the same time.
And worn out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Beyonce started her Cowboy Carter tour this week. I know you
Indeed.
know. Yeah.
And yes, she started in LA, one of 6 or total of 6 shows in LA, I think.
6
And
shows in LA.
yeah.
Has that ever been
Yes.
done?
No. They said she's the first female artist. I need to go back and double check again, to have that many shows back to back
Because
in SoFi.
that's interesting, because I'm pretty sure her Atlanta tour stop is the most. It's definitely the most that she's done at one time. Now, I remember last year when Usher did his show, he did like a couple nights, and then he came back a few months later and did a couple more nights.
Mhm.
Beyonce will normally, they'll sell out 1 or 2 shows and then they'll add another one. 3.
Mm-mm.
I think we're at 4 or 5. I'm checking that right now.
Yeah. She's starting off at
Jeez.
LA home for a couple of days, which is smart because, like you said, when I leave the concert, I'm exhausted because you're singing, you're having a good time, and then I think about the performer. Like, if I'm tired, you got to be tired, and then you're gonna do it the day after or the next day because she has a few that are back to
Ooh.
back in LA. So I'm like, girl, but I know you're not. You want to not see the spoilers. I watched.
I know you did. You watched the first night.
I
Okay,
watched the first night.
I just checked. It's 4. Atlanta has 4 shows, and that's the most
Okay.
that we've had.
Okay.
Mhm.
And she added those because I believe it was
She
only
added.
2 at
It was
first, right?
2. It was
Yeah.
2, and then she had another, and then she had another.
I don't even know why she was tripping. You know Atlanta gonna
Why?
show out.
Why? Like, just give us a
Girl,
week. Stop playing.
I did watch it. I
Did you
followed some
enjoy?
streamers. I did. It's very exciting. And here's the thing. Even though you watch it, because I watched Renaissance too, being there is completely different for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're in it, like you said, that environment, that energy. Oh, it's just so I was okay with watching the whole thing. And because we know her, she makes adjustments throughout
We know her.
the concert. We know her. We've kind of picked up what she does.
Yes. She
Um
she gets not better, but
she gets better. She makes
yeah.
improvements, and apparently the VIP sections, Honey Buckin, and another part, people weren't pleased with the way the setup of the stage. So I'm sure her team heard about that, and they're maybe making some adjustments. I want to say it's tonight. The second show is tonight, so we'll see.
Okay.
If she follows Renaissance, a whole nother set of costumes. I don't know.
I was gonna
Uh,
ask you that because at Renaissance, every show it was
yes,
not. Some of the stuff was the same, but she entered in a new gown and so I'm wondering, do you know anything about
yes.
that? It's going to be different every show
No,
again, or
I'm guessing. I don't know.
okay?
But she was on to something. And it's interesting that she thinks she's slick. I finished Miss Tina's book,
Yes, number one, New York Times bestseller,
New York
matriarch.
Times bestseller, Matriarch. She put little sprinkles of tea in there. And even at the beginning, I listened to the audio recording as well. And B, Solange, Kelly, Michelle, she was like, don't spill too much tea. But
Wait, P.
yeah.
You listened to the audiobook? So when I
Yes.
told you, hey, because remember I messaged you and I'm like, out of my Audible credits, they re-up, they re-up in a little bit, and I was like, but I heard Beyonce and Kelly and Michelle's on. You ain't say nothing.
Oh, I didn't want to
You knew
spoil
the
it for
whole
you.
time.
Yes.
Girl.
I didn't
So
want to
what
spoil
are
it
they
for you.
doing? Are they like reading sections or are they just talking to Tina?
No. So talking to Miss Tina, like they came in and
Okay.
said, congratulations, like what you mean to me. I'm so proud of you for doing this, telling your story. That part. That's
Okay.
it. But why I said that is Miss Tina brings up the decision Beyonce made to change clothes every show of Renaissance. Yes. And her mom was like, girl, that's because, she was a stylist for them. And so she
Yes.
understands that
Yes.
world. And she was like, B, that's too much for us. That's going to be too much for a stylist. You have 100 dancers and you have that is going to be too much. And she was like, but I want it and we can
Oh,
do
the
it.
dancers did change every night too. But why?
Yes.
Did she? So what was the
She
reason?
just, it was just part of the show. She wanted to just up the ante, up the production.
Up
So
the ant, and it did.
they hired three
Mm.
more stylists to help
Mm-hmm.
organize and keep it moving. And the outfits were amazing. So I anticipate you've started something now, girl. You can't go
Right.
back. People are going to be looking forward to that. So I'm
Right.
guessing maybe not tonight, maybe the second night, but as the tour goes, what I'm interested in is, like I said, she makes adjustments, and what's going to be the magical moment. We've seen the video of Rumi coming out. Oh, that Shaun.
Rumi said, "Forget this choreography.
Shaun.
Look at all these people out here yelling my name. Hey, y'all."
We discussed this already.
He said, "They finally let me out here."
Protector was going to make me emotional.
Yes.
And when I saw that little girl come around,
Yeah.
and they were hugging up on their mama.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. But her smile was so full of, like you said, she was like, okay, I know this. I know my steps.
Yeah.
1 and 2. Hey, y'all here for me?
Y'all. Yeah.
And then she went back into it like, okay, I gotta do my arms. Oh, hello there, everybody. Hey, girl. And when she turned around and hugged her mama, it was almost like, thanks, mom. You let me do it. Thank you.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
And you can hear B say, uh-oh. Like,
Yeah,
we've
like
started
you done
something.
started. Yeah,
It's over. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. She's I don't know. And Blue being a big sister, like, girl, come on. If you don't
Yeah,
come on, we
Blue,
have
the
steps to
manager,
do.
she was like,
It
"You
was
done missed the 8 count."
adorable. It was
Well, she was
absolutely
so.
adorable.
It was just joy personified.
Just
And sometimes you
joy.
need that because
Yes.
kids don't be know what else be going on in the world. Sometimes you really need them
No.
to just kind of. It
It was
was
perfect. She
exactly,
could not have, even if
exactly.
she came out and did the steps, yes, it's adorable, but just her losing it and like, oh wait, I lost focus.
Yeah,
I know. This is
yeah.
amazing. It brought so much more to that scene, that set. So I'm looking forward to what's gonna naturally come because the mute challenge wasn't a thing. The fans made it a thing. They didn't start it off as kind of, because overseas, she tried it, but they didn't get it. They didn't get it
She was
overseas.
overseas first. Yeah.
So once she came over here, we were like, okay, all right, we're going to fix it. And each city got better and better and better and better. So those type of things, I'm like, what's
So
going
did
to
you
come out?
see that? Okay, so don't say, I
I'm
guess, for
not,
real.
I know,
But
I
did
know.
you see things in the show that you was like, "Oh, that's going to be a thing"?
Not as blatant as the mute challenge, but I feel like knowing her brain, she's
Yes.
going to do something. She's going to do something. I don't know. You can't even anticipate. And I know fans out there, listeners, Shauna does not want to know. So she's not watching clips.
I
She
don't want to
wants
know.
everything to be,
Well,
she wants her first time.
some clips you can't stay away from. So like I seen the clip
That's what I'm like, girl.
of Rumi. I seen the clips of Blue hitting that step.
Let me tell you
Okay?
something.
Oh my God.
Blue said, "What y'all not gonna do is talk about me ever again like that. That's what's not gonna happen." So I'm gonna come out here and show out. And she became. We need a nickname for Blue. Like B has Sasha Fierce. I don't know
Right.
what it is. Blue Ivy, the Ivy League popped out.
And they've been showing, so I can't get away from some clips. I'm just not
No.
finna go like watch a live stream and see the whole show. I want to have an experience, right? In
Yes.
July when I see it. But that clip of Blue, they have that people have compiled clips of her performance from when she first started in
Mm-hmm.
Renaissance and I remember
Mm-hmm.
when she first came on stage and people was really talking
They
about
were
this
awful,
child, okay?
awful about this
And
baby.
imagine
Mm-hmm.
people talking about you like that. And you be like, "You know what?
Mm-hmm.
No." Because most people be like, "Okay, maybe not." Or I can't my mental I
Mm-mm.
can't deal with this, right? And Blue got to work, but let me tell you something. When that young lady, first of all, she hit that step P,
Yeah, she
like
hit it.
full out. And you know how I know that she a dancer now? Because she had the long braid. First of all, she didn't have to have the long braid. You already knew that the hair was gonna go in the face. But
Yes.
Blue said, "What's gonna happen is I'm gonna swing my head like this. See, when we see how your hair get in your face, right? And and so when you a non-dancer, okay, for all my non-dancers out there, your first reaction is to pull the hair out your face."
Right.
Blue was like, "Nope, because the step is here. I'm staying here." And she held when she didn't move that hair out her face. I said, "That's it. She's official. It
Mm-hmm.
professional now because most people." And then when she hit the P, and then she did the squat. And here's the thing: what people don't understand. When you are a taller person, I'm not saying she's super tall.
She saw.
Let's just say shorter dancers, it looks one way when you dance.
Yes.
When you're taller, you have to like bring your center of gravity down lower when you're doing certain moves. First of all, so you
Mm-hmm.
look like the people next to you, which is another reason why a lot of times in these tour shows, if you notice, a lot of the dancers will like be around the same height. They got to
Mm-hmm.
be like the same height as Beyonce. Like it has to visually look a certain way before we even get to the steps, right? But when you're a certain height, you got to bring your center of gravity lower than like the person next to you because it looks when you're lanky, it looks less clean
Mm-hmm.
if you're not. So they almost have to dance stronger or they do have to dance a different way to make it match up.
She
All
did
that
it.
stuff came together.
She did it.
And I said, what is she, 13? And
She did
people,
it.
that is Beyonce's child. But whenever I see her dance, I just think of Solange. And people say what they
Yeah.
want to say. This is not new. Solange was Destiny's Child tour dancer. for
Mhm.
years. You know, so it's like that was her first gig before and then she went and started doing some solo stuff. But this is actually not new for that family
No.
at
No.
all.
And
Killed that.
clearly,
Blue killed that. Trying to tell you.
Rumi is ready. She's a little ham.
And Rumi
But
is the one who's out. Like Rumi, Blue ain't even like
no.
super extroverted. It seemed like. So
Right.
goodness gracious, what are we in store for with Rumi?
That's why Beyonce, her mama was like, uh-oh. She knew. She knows. She's like, we are in trouble. Rumi has probably been asking her since Renaissance. Remember in the movie where she was doing all the unique?
Yep.
I was like, oh, every day. Beyonce, mom, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Finally, she was like, girl, okay. Like, but here you are. You got to focus. She couldn't help it. It was adorable. She could not help herself. And I love that. But I think Blue sent a text to all them people, her friend, hey, tell them to tune in. Tell them to tune in. They won't talk about me this time.
Because
that's how she found out.
That's how she found out from her friend. They gave her the walk. Now, okay, I'm going to ask a question, P. Look, if it's something I want to know specific, I'll ask you a question. You tell me.
Okay, yes.
I can't really tell from the clip that I came across. Okay, the walk I'm talking about, you guys, there's a clip where she has, it seems like it's like burgundy or brown, and she's walking the catwalk, right? And she's doing like the Naomi Campbell walk. Is that off of, not Single? Is it either on Single Ladies or is it on, Deja Vu?
The beginning, the bass, dun, 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 and she's walking, and then
But the
she goes into that
choreography
break
she's
dance.
doing, is it the
It's from Deja Vu.
choreography? It's from Deja Vu. In my head, I thought it was from, what was the first song? Where she was in love. Beyonce was in love. And she had on the Daisy Dukes and the white. That's what I thought it was from the clip.
Crazy in Love?
Crazy in Love. Because she does the walk, okay,
Yeah.
in Crazy in Love. And I was like, oh, they must got her doing that. Okay, but it's off of Deja Vu. They said Blue gonna have some additional times to shine. And that walk was serious. That wasn't even a jazz walk. That was a catwalk walk. So then that tells
tall
me
and lanky.
Who taught the child a catwalk walk? I know it was somebody with a name.
She's ready.
Had to be Naomi.
She's been doing it. Had to be.
So
it was
that
awesome.
extra hip, it was in the hip. And I said, that is not a jazz walk. That is
no, ma'am. She's ready.
Catwalk.
She's prepared. So prepare yourself. She's just 13. She's gonna, with this experience, my goodness, watch out. But what I also noticed, even from the last tour, and I believe it'll continue this time, they keep her age appropriate though, even her outfits. And some of the dance routines, because she stays on the stage. She's a lot more dances in this one, but she's kind of in the background. But the more, I won't say raunchy, but kind of getting into it kind of moves, she doesn't do those.
Okay.
I've noticed when they pull her out to do certain things, I was like, okay, because she's still a child. She's still a child at the end of the day. So I appreciate that with Beyonce and Mama Tina and everybody. But the book, it's interesting why I say they did that on purpose. Everything is on purpose. She's saying things in this book that's like, okay, act 3. I see what you're doing. I see what you're dropping there. I see what you're dropping.
Well, okay, so what is she? Is it giving rock and roll? Alternative? What did you think she dropped?
Rock and roll, jazz. She says as a baby, the only way they literally could keep her quiet and stop her from screaming and go to sleep was to play jazz.
Wow.
That was the only way to keep her from crying as a baby, to settle her down. And they just figured that out. They played lullabies, and she was like, "That my child was not into no Mary Had a Little Lamb." But when they played jazz, a specific song, I forgot the song, but specifically, and she just settled down. Sometimes she would go to sleep. Sometimes she would just kind of take it in, but it was always jazz. And that was the one thing that settled her down. So I was like, oh, rock and roll, blues, jazz.
Yeah, blues, especially with the year we having with just coming off of Sinners.
She's coming. She's coming.
She
So
coming.
it was enjoyable. I know they're gonna fix some things. I won't I won't spoil it, but you may have seen one of the clips where she's on an apparatus. They need to check the speed of that. I need to They need to check the speed, and let's check
Hmm.
the chords. Let's check the
Why did she get
sturdiness.
caught on whatever it is? Did she
No,
get caught?
no.
Okay.
It just looks like it was a little faster
Okay.
than she may have
Oh Lord,
expected.
she had to hold on for dear life.
No, she's a professional. So she kept
Okay.
it together. I think maybe
Whew.
we as the audience, because online and people who were there, they were like, yo, what that was, slow that down.
Do
Somebody
not
said
hurt
it
Beyonce, please.
right. Somebody said it took off like a charger. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, all right. And then there's another finale where it looked like it was the apparatus, I won't tell you, was
Okay.
leaning a little bit. So I
Oh
need them to
no.
fix some stuff. Because the whole time everybody's like, okay, if y'all drop Beyonce, Giselle,
On the
and those
first
cards
night, Jesus.
at all, at all.
At
So
all.
just those things. Let's just work on that. I'm sure they worked on some stuff. It just seemed like they needed to sturdy it up a little bit.
Are you
But
gonna watch any more live streams before
no,
July?
not like I did the first night, the whole one, because literally, and it was LA time. I'm not ashamed
Oh
to say I stayed up to 2
wow.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, 2
Look at
a.m.
you
watching
outside,
it.
like you out here, like you grown or something.
Like I'm grown, like I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So no, I won't do that again. But because it's gonna pop up little things, but I'm just looking forward to like what will evolve out of this and waiting for that 7-Eleven shine. We're gonna be. I don't know if I'm gonna be in the Harris suite like you.
Hera. Yeah. Because
Hera.
when you came, was it Renaissance when you came? And
Yes, I have
we were
floor
gonna try to
seats.
meet up, but you had floor seats. Like you got to be Oprah to get to the float. Like they wasn't just gonna let y'all had your own entrance. You had your own. We just
Yeah.
like, okay, I just wave at you from up here because
Yeah.
I can't get that. Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
Well, first, I don't get floor seats because I'm short. All right. And I feel like I have to stand
Yes.
on the chair. Like I have done that before, stood on the chair so I could see some shit. So I'm like, it just wouldn't make no sense for me. It's not that I don't think the money is worth it. It's that I'm so short. I would literally have to be, I
Yeah.
feel like, and this is just a feeling. I don't know for sure, but I feel like I have to be like in the first few rows, or else if people are standing up, because we're all on the same level, right?
Right.
It's not like a incline like it normally
Right.
would be. So if it's tall people,
A-
anybody taller than me,
And I'll say this. I
yeah,
had never done a floor seat either. And I was like, I'm gonna do floor seats. I'm gonna be right there
right,
so she could see me. And we did make eye
yeah,
contact. She saw me.
too.
But
Okay.
but the way that the production of the show, how the movie was set up, the best seat
Yes,
is a bowl seat, a level 100, 200 in
yes,
the back so you could see everything. So this
yeah,
time I got club seats. So I'm not on the floor. And because like you said, you're standing, and if you're short, God bless you. I never was gonna do the pits or anything because I need to at some point I need to be able to sit down.
oh, yeah, I
I've
cannot stand.
always
I got
been
back
like that,
issues.
like hard places like Hard Rock, House of Blues. I never wanted to go to those shows because you're not gonna. I gotta stand up the whole time with people
Exactly.
like behind me, on the side of me, in front of me. I can't sit
Hmm.
down.
And
No,
don't be trying to be out there be cute. You can't.
no,
Oh
you
yeah,
can't do that.
you can't.
You can't
Yeah.
do that.
Mm,
So I had the experience, like you said. That's what I'm about. I wanted to experience a floor seat, and it was great seeing them. And that one, I think people were complaining also, and it might be because SoFi is so huge. Atlanta, I mean it. When they look down, the dancers and stuff, they made eye contact. Like you wave, you send a kiss,
uh-huh.
blow a kiss. They do it right back. I literally saw her, and we were like on the front row of one of the floor seats, but SoFi is such a huge
Okay,
stadium.
big
People were,
time.
I know, but I was like, nope, next time I'm going to be back to my 100s and it's going to be good.
Are
But
you
it
on
made
Club
me
100 or 200?
Club 100,
Okay, cool. That's
one something,
yeah. It's a lot of
130
numbers.
something. It's a
It's a
lot of
lot of
numbers.
numbers.
I don't know. I did a VIP package, but it's in the 100s.
VIP always. I never know what to, especially with Beyonce. And well, actually, I don't know because I don't really be trying to go to much other people's stuff, right? But there be so many options. I don't know what to choose, and you only got like a few minutes to get your ticket, right? And
Yes.
it's so confusing that I just never end up, you know what I mean? Because sometimes
Yeah.
you, like you, I want to go, I want to have experience or whatever, but you literally got 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
don't know what to pick. I don't know the difference. Like you calling it rodeo, chitlin circuit, cowboy. There's all kinds of different names, but to me, that don't mean I can't tell the difference. Now I got to go through the bullet points.
Yeah.
Never works
There are
out for
certain
me.
sections. Nothing that has to stand up. I knew. I was like, no. But I just appreciate those type of shows and you know, you're going to get your money's worth. And so we both can experience. We did experience 2 concerts. Mine was virtual, yours was in person. But what was your very first concert that you can remember?
My first concert was Immature, featuring Montego. I don't
Montego.
even. I,
Wait,
I remember his name,
let me
but I
look
don't
that
even
up.
remember what the song was. I just remember Montego was there.
Montego.
It was Immature. So this was before B2K was not a thing yet. It was the originals. Immature. It was at the Fox Theater in Atlanta. Mommy took me and my friends, so I was in 8th grade.
Oh.
And we got in there, we found our seats. Mommy was like, "Y'all good? Good." And she left us and went to, cause at the Fox, it's it's still set up like old school. So they have like a lobby area in the bathroom. It's like you enter what do they call it? It's like a parlor, maybe. That it's like you enter the bathroom, but there's a whole room with sofas and chairs and mirrors that you can sit around and congregate, that's
Mm-hmm.
separate from the bathroom. I don't know what it's called, but they have like a little lobby seating area. Mommy had a book and she sat in there and crossed her legs and she read her book in there for 2 hours while all the kids were screaming.
I know that's right. She was leaving
And
her
she came,
baby.
yeah, she was like, "All right, y'all in here? Great. I'll be out here in the parlor." And we were just in there screaming this. I can't even remember who else might have been there, but I know it's Immature Montego. It had to be,
Montego.
maybe it was Brandy or Monica. Maybe there was Brandy or Monica was there. Cause there was, yeah, Immature featuring Montego. Montego. That's how you spelled his name. Now imagine
Girl, I don't know who.
Montego. Look, I'm saying that like I know.
Mm-mm.
Is It Me? That's the name of the song. Is It Me? Oh, it's Montego featuring Immature. But I think
Oh.
that was pretty much the only song he had. So they brought him on tour as like an opener.
Oh,
The song
yeah,
is called
because
Is It Me? Song's called Is It Me? And I think it was either Brandy or Monica was on the tour too. So this song came out in 1995, looks like. So all I know is I was in the 8th grade. So that tracks 95. Yeah. Yep. That
I
was my
love it.
first concert. What about you, P?
MC Hammer.
Girl, I'm jealous.
Girl, MC Hammer in 1990, Hammer Don't Hurt
Ooh.
'Em tour. Because my best friend, her sister, she's older than us. She was like maybe 4 or 5 years. And so, of
Okay.
course, mama had to be like, you got to invite some of your friends too. So we got to tag
Yeah.
along. But girl, I don't know if this was like a big birthday for her because their dad, they rented a limo for us. It was like maybe 8 girls.
Oh wow, y'all doing it big.
We were doing it big, and we
Yes.
pulled up to the arena here in Orlando, and people were taking pictures and screaming, and because they thinking, oh, it's a limo, and out comes 8 little girls. They're like, oh, who is this?
Kids.
But kids, children. But yeah, the MC Hammer, and I'm looking, it was August 24th, 1990. I had to look it up of when that was.
So you were like 8?
Girl. Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
And
that's so cool.
Rita Gale let me go only because she knew, like I said, my best friend and her mom, she was like my mom too.
Yeah.
Auntie B. She knew. She wasn't playing no game. She knew I was
No.
safe.
Yeah.
And I want to stay with us, of course. But yeah, MC Hammer. Hammer don't hurt him. We had our hammer pants on, girl.
Oh. P, when I say I'm jealous, I am not embellishing. You know, when I was in the 3rd grade, I thought I was gonna grow up and marry MC Hammer. Like,
Did you?
we had to do, you know how you do book reports? We had to do a report,
Yes.
but not on a book. It was on, I don't know if it was Black History Month or whatever. We had to pick, I picked MC Hammer, and I drew him in his hammer pants and his blue sequin outfit with his hammer pants and his like high top with the shaved sides. I did a whole report on MC Hammer, and I didn't know how aging works. And I really thought when I
that you
became,
were gonna marry.
I
Oh.
said, meanwhile, I told you I didn't even think about marriage. But if you said MC Hammer to me, I was like, oh, obviously
That
I'm
was
gonna
your
grow up and
man.
marry MC Hammer. That's what you do. Nobody told me MC Hammer was gonna be like 20 years older by that time.
Right.
I loved MC Hammer so much. And you know, we would record the Oprah Winfrey Show every day and watch it, and then we would re-record over that until the VCR tape got too old and we had to get a new one. But we would record it every day so that we could watch it together when mommy got home from work. And MC Hammer was on Oprah one day, and he went up in the audience and was dancing in the audience. And I was like, mommy, we got to say, we can't record over there. I kept that tape
No, you
for
gotta save it.
years. Man,
It's MC
MC Hammer
Hammer.
was I think I even performed MC Hammer at the talent show.
Of course, everybody. He was the
Everybody.
man. And look, so I'm
Yes.
looking it up. So it's MC Hammer, but listen to who was part of it. Troop, Michelle,
What?
After
Michelle?
7, and Oaktown 357.
Oh, do you even remember them?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So cool.
I can remember because it was all those songs, and Michelle, that album was amazing. Oaktown 357, get loose. I'm gonna have to pull that up. I want to get loose. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I'm going to have to pull it up. But that was my very first.
P.
We had a time.
No, you beat me.
We had a
That
time.
beats me. That beats me all day. MC
had
Hammer
a
was my
time.
first. I don't know if it was cassette or a CD. It had to be cassette because it was the first music that mommy bought me for me.
Because it was great. Put it on the hammer and you will be rewarded. And you know I get it started. Let's get it started. Girl,
Man.
I'm gonna have to pull it up. But yes, that was my very first concert. And from then I was like, well, this is what I enjoy. I have to go see the people. Music.
That's a good one.
And what I also had to learn to appreciate, sometimes I remember when I was younger, the album, if they did something different, when I was younger, I didn't appreciate it, a live version. I was like, no, sing it like you sing it on the record. Yeah. What are you doing? I'm ready to sing along.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as I grew up, when you actually go to hear real singers and stuff, if they're adding on to a little flavor, now I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, sing it like the record. What are you doing? What are you going off, veering off for that?
Are there any other concerts that were stand out to you? Of course, I know Beyonce, but any other ones besides your very first one that are like core memories for you?
Yes. What started me on the path to Beyonce, it was Destiny's Child, the Destiny reunion show. Yeah, because they all had, by then, Destiny Fulfilled. Because by then, all three girls had their own album.
Yes.
And during that show, they each would pop out and do like their hit songs. My line sister, Portia, shout out to her. I'm forever indebted to her. She was like, hey, I have a ticket. You want to go to this concert with me? That's sure, of course. And we went over to Tampa, and that was the concert.
What year was this? Destiny Fulfilled. Was that Girl?
Yes. That album.
And was it?
And by then, all of that. And each
Yes.
girl had, so Kelly did Dilemma.
Yeah.
Michelle,
Oh,
she had the gospel album, and she
yeah.
sang Did You Know? Or Do You Know?
Mm.
If you ever
Mm-hmm.
heard, I was blown. That's when I truly became a Michelle stan. I was like, oh, she can
Right.
sing. We
Yeah.
call her Michelle the Bridge Williams. No, no, no. Do you know when there's a point in the song where she holds this note? It's like, okay, all right, well, now you done took us to church, Michelle, in the
The
middle of
older
the
you get,
concert.
you can appreciate, because we was probably kids thinking like the harmony. It's like that's a lot. That takes skill. And
It's
then as a
skill.
child or as a young person, you're thinking, oh, but Beyonce's a star. So it's like, no, they know how to
Mm-mm.
do this. That also don't mean though,
It's
like you said,
perfect.
when they go, yeah, it just perfection together. Yeah.
Throwing it back to the book, Miss Tina
Hmm.
talks about that whole process of when they had to bring in other members and bringing in Michelle. The very
Oh.
first time they met her and just talking to her, the girls immediately started harmonizing.
Meant to be.
Meant to be. She came in and they were like, well, what song are you going to sing for the audition in front of Matthew and the execs and whatnot? And she told them what she was going to sing, and she started singing, and each one kind of just filled in.
Mm.
And they were like, no, this is what you're doing
That's how
for
you
the
know she's
audition.
skilled. That's how you know she's
Skilled.
skilled. Like, yeah.
Skill. Just came in and that was it.
Did she talk about Kelly? And
Mhm.
because you know how they would say, Kelly would say she was adopted. Did she ever talk? Okay, good. Ooh, I'm
Yes, yes,
excited.
yes. She talks about how she's those are her daughters. She has
Uh-huh.
two that way she birthed, and daughters that she just is the mother to. And I think that's also why that moment with Beyonce and the girls was even more precious, because I had finished the book, and it's about, of course, Miss Tina talking about her mother and her grandmother and just the lineage of mother and daughter relationships.
Matriarch.
Matriarch, exactly. And so here we are with Beyonce with her two girls. It
Mhm.
just hit. So I was like, you know what? They did that all in the timing. They did it. They did.
They're very intentional.
They are very, very, very intentional. And just her talking about just how country they are.
Yes.
Mama Tina's country.
Yes.
Galveston, Texas, country. And
Yeah.
all of that. So everything is intentional and it falls into place. And if anyone else is reading it as you watch the tour and how it's just like, okay, it makes sense. That makes
Hmm.
sense. I see what you're doing here. So it was a good read. The show looked good. I'm excited as usual.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Definitely excited to read Matriarch. Can't wait for July 11th, which is when Beyonce will be here in Atlanta. P will
Yes.
also be at that show. Core memory for me, concert wise, outside of when I first started going to Beyonce concerts, I
Mhm.
have two. One is okay, it was a Bad Boy tour, but listen, it wasn't called Bad Boy tour. I don't feel like it was
The
called some
reunion?
big. Nah, it was like a Super Friends or something. Lil Kim was there.
Recent?
I
Like
No, it
in
wasn't
our
recent.
adulthood?
No, I was in high school, and
Okay.
they came to the dome. We had the dome at the time, so of
Mhm.
course it was Puffy, but it was. I'm pretty sure Biggie was still alive, and he was there. I
Oh,
just remember
wow.
I seen Lil Kim, and
Yes.
we were in the first row, but it was on 100 level, so we wasn't down on the floor, but 100 level first row, and I was like, this is the life. It was like the biggest concert I had been to at the time. I think it was the Budweiser Superfest, because that's what it was,
Okay.
Budweiser
That makes
Superfest,
sense.
and then Bad Boy like headline, because the other core memory is also the Superfest, but it was at Lakewood, and that's core memory because it was my first time seeing Jay-Z. And Jay-Z actually had
Mm.
dancers. And it was his first time really doing a full show, like having a show with for real dancers and stuff. And my friend, somehow she talked her way down to the bottom level
Oh yeah.
and brought us down. We was on third row. I don't know what happened to the people who was there originally. They was not there no more. She talked to the security guard. We was all on the third row. Jay-Z, Memphis Bleek. And then me and Memphis Bleek had locked eyes, okay? Because at the time, I was in love with Memphis Bleek. And I don't remember what the verse was. But I was repping and he was repping and he saw me and he winked and I was like, oh my God.
He made eye contact with you. Yep.
Yeah, he made eye
I
contact.
believe
That
it.
was my Memphis
I believe
Bleek.
it.
Listen.
He was a cutie back in the day.
My God.
He was a cutie.
Oh,
I thought you were talking about the reunion when they went back out. That was also one of the best concerts I've ever been to as well. I had to give it up. It was Puff, Mace, Faith, Lil' Kim, 112, Total, The Lox, Carl Thomas, and French Montana. The only time I sat down,
I watched the documentary of the making of that tour.
It was awesome. The only time I sat down was maybe French Montana, because after he did Don't Stop, it's like, well, you know, I had to rest. But everything else, that was one, and that was 2016. So that's why I was like, I thought you were talking about that one.
No,
that was one of the best concerts also I've been to.
That was a good time. Man.
Oh,
Puffy
Puff.
really
Done his trial start
shit up. Yeah, I think like next week. Jeez, like it. You know what sucks too, when people that just separate from all that stuff is going on. It's like now we can't even have our memories, sir. Outside of all this other nasty ass shit you've been over there doing, we have now been stripped of our memories, core memories, mind you, that we now got to preface and stuff. Oh,
starts
God.
next week.
You
said there was a second. You had two. That was a core memory.
That was a two. I'm pretty sure they was both the Budweiser Superfest, but they moved locations.
Gotcha.
So the second one with Memphis Bleek, we was in our 20s. We were in college still or just out. And a time. That was really when I was able to go pick my own like mommy took me to the first one. I think it was my birthday. But the high school and college and so that was when I started going with just my friends and stuff, or a friend's older sister would take you or something. Just same like with you. Yeah, man.
We get to go by ourselves. And as we aged, I was able to afford. So when I would go to a show, I could touch the wall. Like we were in the back, very top. And as we got older and make a little bit more money, I was like, oh, okay, level 3, level 2, 100s, floor.
Club action for y'all. Yeah,
club. So, I thank God for that too.
I'm going to just tell y'all though, if you come into Atlanta, from now on, check out the Harris Club ticket. I'm just saying.
I mean,
if you be eating and drinking at these concerts,
and let me tell you,
so worth it.
Let me tell you how I ended up making the decision that Atlanta was going to be my destination for big concerts.
I'm confused as to why Orlando does not have. I'm confused.
Ever since she fell, Beyonce, they came back. She came back with On the Run, and she did come back with. Was that On the Run? Or did she come solo? I don't remember. Oh,
there was two. There was On the Run 1 and 2.
But I want to say she came back one more time by herself, because the joke was, she's never coming back to Orlando by herself after she fell. But she stayed on beat. That's how Beyonce is always on beat came about. Yeah, she rolled on off and kept going. Being in Florida, our arenas are outside. They like to come to us in August and July, and it's hurricane season. It's hot as hell. Last year, so I did 2 shows. I did the Atlanta, because I'm like, okay, you're in a dome. No matter the weather, you're going. Also, I got tired of looking at videos. Everybody would pop out during Atlanta shows. Like the Florida shows, they wouldn't bring as many people like who were local. But the main thing was worrying about the weather, if it would be canceled or if it was too hot. In August, I went to the Tampa show after Atlanta because I already purchased tickets. It was so, I want to say that was probably the muggiest day ever. Even Floridians, you couldn't breathe. And that was the concert where I thought Beyonce was going to pass out
Oh, Jesus.
because she was so pale. The dancers were like huffing and it was bad. It was so, I want to say a storm had just passed by. So it was really, really humid. It was really miserable, actually. And they had her in, she came out in the dress. She had her in a long sleeve dress. First of all, you're in Florida. Why would you have her? Why would you do that? So we were at Tampa and then she was going down to Miami for a few shows. Guess who was not in a long sleeve dress and who wasn't in pants? She was in shorts the rest of the time. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, I don't even know what they were thinking. Did y'all forget you were coming to Florida? Having her in a long sleeve dress. She had several long sleeve outfits that night. And I was like, Lord, she's already fallen in Orlando. Please don't let her pass out in Tampa. Please. Because I just was looking at her and I mean, she was pale. It was bad. It was really, really bad. So out of that, I was like, okay, I'm going to an indoor facility from now on. Ultimately, I have to get to Houston to see her, though. I got to get to her hometown.
Well,
I have to get to her hometown. I have to at some point.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
I got to do it. So maybe Act 3, my Houston folks out
when
there.
When do you think Act 3 is coming? Have you had thoughts on that?
We're in 27, 28.
Damn, that far, okay?
If she's doing it like she did, well, maybe not that far because we're in 25, 26, 27? Because she did tour, released the album, so missed that summer, and then it's like here we are the following summer. She was just there, 23, and we're at 25. So she goes at that pace, then not too far away.
If she goes in that pace, then 27 would be when she would do the concert. So that would mean the Act 3 might actually come next year.
If she keeps that same format, yes.
Now, do you think that some people have said they feel like she's preparing for retirement? What do you think? Do you think Act 3 and then retire?
Who knows with this girl? I will say after Act 3, she may like change it up and slow it down because we're seeing it now. We're older, girl. Yeah. We're older. She's not moving like she used to. That knee is still an issue. You can see it on stage.
But it's weird though because her knee was an issue, of course, because she had just had surgery when she started the last tour. But by the middle of it, she was back on it, and maybe she did transitioning into her full outness.
She's pacing herself because day one, you could tell she's not as moving as much, and that's fine. That's fine, girl. We're almost 44 years old. You've been doing this since you were 12. So I don't know if she's going to totally retire because she enjoys it. Maybe the type of music she makes will change, which is why I think that jazz era, maybe slow it down. Adele-ish, Celine-ish.
Okay, so like maybe Diane Warren type.
Just that vocal. Music. Yeah. Okay. So, but we'll see. Because I'm also seeing that she's including the act. She did include it. Renaissance. Okay, well, I don't want to tell you, but it's the Renaissance is in this show as well, which is the point. These are acts. So people were complaining about that. So when she does Act 3, you're going to get Renaissance, Cowboy Carter, and whatever Act 3 is. That's the whole point, guys. It's a body of work. So I don't know.
That's what you do when you're on tour. Like you don't just. Okay, I'm excited.
I don't know. But they show a clip of her preparing for the Beyonce Bowl, and she had that knee wrapped up real good. So it's still a thing.
Do you think there's going to be another documentary or anything? Like, because when we was at Renaissance, you could tell, like, and actually this happened at Kendrick too, because yes, they want it to look good on the screen behind you. So there's going to be a cameraman on stage with the artist, right? But it was just so looks like a movie is being shot. So when we was on Renaissance, we was like, they're definitely using this footage somewhere. Then of course they did. The same thing happened at Kendrick. I'm like, he's gonna be used. I pray, hope and pray we get some kind of behind the scenes something about the whole Super Bowl into this moment or whatever. But did you see that in a live stream? Did it look like there was a camera person? Like, it's only been one show,
They
so I
were
guess you have to see more
there,
shows.
right? It's only been one show, but you remember they had on crew uniforms or outfits, so we visibly saw them following her. This time, from what I've seen, I couldn't tell if it was actual people. But again, the first show, so they're tweaking, they're working it
actually
out.
the first show she's probably not even recording.
Right. Maybe
but it makes
pieces
sense
of
that
it.
the Atlanta show is. It makes
They
sense that
recorded.
she recorded some piece. Cause I just remember watching like, yeah, I know it got to look a certain way on screen. It's gonna be amazing, but it looked like they shooting the movie.
Yes.
Down there. But I will say this about the Kendrick show: that real time editing that they were doing to get it on, like that director. I said they must have hired a director from the Amazon Pop-Out show, because they are doing some real time editing from what he's doing on stage to on the screen behind him. It wasn't just like we're showing you what we see. It was like boom, 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 bam.
That's awesome. And
Like,
that was
with the
amazing.
dancers
Those
and
editing
everything.
shots. That
I
was
said that
amazing.
man, and that was a black man from, I don't know if he was from Oakland. I'm sorry, I don't know if he was from LA or from Oakland, but he was from California, the guy over his Amazon show.
Okay.
And so we were watching the concert in real time. I was like, they probably hired that man to do everything, because somebody's showing off. Somebody in the director's booth is showing off right now. You know?
That's dope. I love it. I love it. I love shows. I love real performers. I don't want you just up there walking back and forth and out of breath and using a track. Perform. That's what we want.
And it's hard. Everybody can't do it. That's why everybody can't do it.
That's it. That shows you excellence. You could just get up there and try, but if you are almost an athlete, you have to prepare your body and your voice and everything to put on this performance. And they do it. The true stars do it. So I would say, tell us about your first concert for our listeners. Let us know. When was your first show? What was the one that is a poignant moment in your life? Let us know. I had MC Hammer. You had,
and I had Immature featuring my
Immature. I mean, but that was a big deal.
I had a time. I tell you, P, I was standing on. First of all, in the Fox, you can't. The Fox seats go up and down. You can't stand on the seats. I recall once Mommy went away, I was standing on the handrail, whatever the seat. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I was a child.
My gosh.
I couldn't see. I'm short. I took my shoes off and I was literally standing on the.
Okay.
I had a time.
All right.
I had and listen, if you're thinking about going to a show this year, do it.
Yes.
Because we need more joy in the world.
More joy. And what Chris Brown is going out, and I know he is controversial, but as a performer,
Chris Brown be putting on a show.
I believe these shows are going to be amazing. So that's another big one that's coming up. I don't know who else is coming, but
I just saw there's a Cash Money. There's a Cash Money Millionaires. And it's from it's not just Cash Money though. It's a lot of people who was out at the same time, but I think Cash Money is headlining. And Cash Money Rough Riders. I said, okay, I'm gonna look this up because
with our millennial ass.
I'm ready. I told you they could have got me to the Millennium Tour, and then you told me how off the rails that's been going. But I might have to take a look at this Cash Money taking over for the 9-9. I might have to look into it.
Hey, but let us know,
guys.
Go to a show.
About it, go to the show.
Have fun, have joy. We need more of that. And you can reach me on Instagram at Better3701.
I'm on Instagram and Threads at Hey Shaun the Head. And the podcast is also on Instagram at The Everything Has Changed Podcast. Check us out, y'all.
Thank you.
More joy. More joy.
Want to stay locked in with us so you never miss an episode? Visit everythinghaschangedpodcast.com and join our email list. That way you'll be the first to know about new episodes and all the fun stuff we have coming your way. Meet us over there.